What's up, everybody? I'm in Midtown, right by the Grand Central Terminal. A lot of musicians here. They're quite emotional too. Here we have the Pershing Square Cafe. I'm gonna photograph this place because it's absolutely stunning. Okay, guys, I'm in Grand Central Terminal. I'm about to go to the dining concourse and hopefully find the Oyster Bar that's supposedly still open. Dining concourse. There's a Shake Shack down here. There's a lot of stuff. Shake Shack. Here we have a tartinery. We have a Joe's Coffee. This looks like a lot of brunch foods, salads, avocado toast, smoked salmon, and some sandwiches. It's very pricey down here. That's the problem. Look at that beautiful old clock. It's very pricey. Here we have a Luke's Lobster. Probably the only place where you can find a good lobster roll in New York City. I've been to Maine. I've had some good lobster rolls out there. And Luke's is pretty good. Luke's is pretty good. All right, so where's this Oyster Bar now? All right, I found it, guys. Here it is, the famous Oyster Bar restaurant. It's been here since 1918. It's as old as this station itself. It's as old as this station itself. Huge menu. The owner of this place, very passionate man. He starts work at 4 o'clock in the morning. He buys fish at the Fulton Fish Market. He buys fresh fish. Ooh, it smells good in here. It smells like seafood. Oh, this place is absolutely stunning. There are the oyster shuckers. So the first thing I ordered when I entered the Oyster Bar was a bowl of clam chowder. It was delicious. Very herbaceous. Lots of good seafood flavor, plumpy potato, plumpy clams. The consistency of the broth was not as thick as the chowders I had in Boston and in Maine. But I will say that this was the best clam chowder that I've ever had outside of New England. And the best in New York City, in my opinion. It was flavorful, and the clams and the potatoes were tender. Very herbaceous, but it was a bit brothy, not as thick. In Boston, those clam chowders are like, when you stick your spoon in it, it's like sticking a spoon in ice cream. This was a little more liquidy, but still very tasty and flavorful, and definitely the best New England clam chowder I've ever had. Now, when you come here, you order the Manhattan clam chowder, which is tomato based. It's very spicy, I heard, and perhaps I'll do that next time I come here. After all, when you're in Manhattan, you order the Manhattan clam chowder instead of the New England one. But I love New England clam chowder, and I was hoping to find one here that matched the ones I had in New England, especially in Boston, which I had the best clam chowders in Boston by far. So on to the oysters. Now, these are all imported. The manager here starts his day very early in the morning. He travels to the Fulton Fish Market and he purchases very fresh seafood. You're offered a menu, and I was given 2 East Coast and 2 West Coast oysters. One was from Fire Island in the East Coast. One was from Cape Cod. And as for the West Coast oysters, they were from somewhere. I don't know. But I must say, guys, the West Coast oysters are, I think, my favorite oysters. They're very different from the East Coast ones. The East Coast oysters are very briny, salty. You taste the salt water. They taste like the ocean. They're a little tougher, maybe not as tender. And the West Coast oysters tend to be very creamy and sweet. Not as briny, not as salty, but a lot creamier and very sweet. I poured some of the vinegar on them. I've never ordered oysters and was given vinegar to go with them. Usually it's cocktail sauce, sometimes horseradish, lemon, of course, but vinegar, red wine vinegar, that was a first for me. And I must say, I enjoyed the oysters with the red wine vinegar. Typically, I mean, I'm a purist. Maybe a little bit of lemon, that's it. Sometimes I'll just have the oyster with nothing on it. But I really think the red wine vinegar went perfect with these oysters. And I tried to switch it up, you know. Sometimes one oyster I'd have with the vinegar, one oyster I'd have with lemon only, one oyster I'd have with the cocktail sauce. They were fresh. They were absolutely fresh and meaty. I think the East Coast oysters were meatier and they filled the shell. The West Coast ones, it seemed like the shells outgrew the meaty centers of those oysters. Man, what a place. And yeah, we're in a train station, not a palace, folks. A lot of you guys are from out of town on this page. Give you guys a little look at the beauty. Well, folks, I'm about to call it a night. It was just a little snack. I'm gonna go pick up some tacos somewhere. I just wanted to experience the oysters. They were delicious. You guys already got a good look at them. And I figured I'd do some filming as I walk out of here. This place is ancient. By the way, if you ever come here, the way this ceiling is shaped, somebody could be standing on the other side there and you could be standing here. If you shout up at the ceiling, the sound would travel all the way to the other side and it would give the impression that you're hearing me from like a walkie-talkie or on a telephone. Like you'd actually hear my voice, quite pronounced and loud, even though you're standing on the other side of this room. Well, I'm out of here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. And there was a time when all these windows would be open. Now, we order tickets on our phones. Before nostalgia's sakes, there's always at least 2 or 3 windows open. If you need some service, some help with tickets. Still open. Look at those lamps. And it's bustling. The tourists are definitely back. So that's it. Back to Pershing Square. And I just want to give everyone a final look at the ballroom. This used to be a ballroom, the Vanderbilt Ballroom. These chandeliers weigh thousands of pounds. And I imagine this place used to be used for private parties or... and it's pretty interesting. It's pretty beautiful, actually. But it's now used for pop-ups, food halls, and people get to advertise their businesses by setting up stands. It's used for a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of art exhibits. And could you believe they were going to tear this place down? And if it wasn't for Jackie Kennedy, this place would have been gone. And so they named this room after her. And if you want to read about the story, you can just pause the video here. Take care, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.